Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Now we have some information that I have seen no one else talk about. I just found this information myself, and it is showing that BlackRock is in profit over $17 billion just overnight. It's also showing that Grayscale has a $10 billion loss. And so I'm going to be digging into that information here. Now, if you're interested in this type of content, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, as I will be providing more information on this as I get more updates. I assume that we will get more updates next week, depending on what happened here with Grayscale and BlackRock. And so definitely something to be paying attention to. So we can see here that on Margex, Bitcoin is currently trading at $69,366, and we did see a drop from about 72,000 down to about 69,000. So I am expecting a bounce here on Bitcoin still, since we did break out of this channel and it is coming down, retesting it as support, and then I am expecting a push to the upside for Bitcoin. So definitely make sure to check out that link underneath the video to Margex if you're interested in leverage trading. Now let's go ahead and jump right into the video and take a look at the information I am talking about. Now we can see here that BlackRock is holding $20.2 billion. Now the majority of that is Bitcoin, $20.14 billion of that. And we can see here their balance history has been continuing to increase. We're starting to see a spike up here over the last couple of weeks. However, if we take a look at their profit and loss here, this is what I'm talking about that is extremely interesting. Since this launched at the beginning of January, they had some increases in the profits and loss of Bitcoin. However, look at the profit that we're seeing just from yesterday, up $17 billion. This brings their total profit up to $20 billion. They were at about $4 billion prior, and now we're talking $20 billion. And so what exactly is going on? How did they become so profitable? And so I have some information to back this, reasons why. And if we also take a look here at Grayscale as well, we're seeing the same thing. Again, their balance history here has been dropping off over the last 3 months. We can see that. We know there's been outflows of Grayscale. However, if we take a look at their profit and loss here, we can see they had a substantial loss just yesterday as well. Now they're out $10 billion. However, we're not seeing that here in the numbers, and so whether this is a glitch on Arkham's website or there's actual information coming yet that has not been released, this could be ahead of the news being released early next week, and so this is definitely something that's very interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at more information here. We did not see massive inflows or outflows from BlackRock or Grayscale. We saw $170 million of inflows yesterday, and for Grayscale we saw $36 million. And so looking at this, there is no major reason why we should be seeing such a large increase in the profit and loss for Grayscale. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the inflows over the last 19 days, which have all been positive. This is almost $4 billion of inflows over the last couple of days, and the price of Bitcoin is not going up, right? And so there's possible reasons for that as well. We could be seeing BlackRock shorting Bitcoin with the funds that are being stored on Coinbase. And so let's go ahead and take a look at this here as well. One thing that I am guessing that is possibly happening with the BlackRock ETF here is that BlackRock knew that this ETF was going to get approved. And so they were buying during this phase here. They knew that the paperwork was going to go through. They have a very good approval rate. They've only been denied once. And so they may have been buying down here at 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, right? And just storing it away. They could have bought $20 billion worth of Bitcoin down at these levels, right? Which could start driving the price up. We could see they were buying down by $20,000, and then the price got to $40,000. Maybe they quit buying, and then retail started driving this up as well as other institutions. And then BlackRock was using the funds that they bought previously to fund the Bitcoin spot ETF. And so anyone that is buying the ETF, they're possibly maybe just stocking the Bitcoin that they purchased here, and then they're selling it for profit. And so if they bought Bitcoin right around $25,000 to $30,000, they're up over 100% return on their profit. And so if they're holding on to $20 billion of Bitcoin, and now they're showing a $17 billion profit, they could have ran out of all of the funds that they have accumulated early on here, and now they will have to start buying it off the market, which could increase the price of Bitcoin as well. And so those are massive numbers from BlackRock and Grayscale. BlackRock with an increase in profit of $17 billion overnight, and Grayscale showing a $10 billion loss. And so another reason for that could be that BlackRock is actually shorting Bitcoin. And so the custodian of the Bitcoin being bought by BlackRock is Coinbase. And so this arrangement allows BlackRock to borrow Bitcoin, including for short selling without proving a 1-to-1 holding ratio. And so this method offers several advantages, including increased transaction speed and reduced fees by borrowing it off-chain. However, it also brings about transparency concerns regarding large-scale transactions involving significant market players like BlackRock. And so by utilizing off-chain transactions, BlackRock can borrow from Coinbase without triggering the same level of scrutiny as on-chain transactions. And so this is extremely interesting as well, right? BlackRock can actually borrow the funds that are being stored by Coinbase and use it to short Bitcoin. And so they could continue to short or leverage trade Bitcoin, and that could be part of their profit they are now showing, right? Up $17 billion. And so let's go ahead and take a look at some more information here as well. On Coinbase, we can see the majority of the volume is institutional. And so we can see here in Q1, institutional accounted for $256 billion of the total of $312 billion traded on the Coinbase platform. And so retail really only accounts for a small portion of the crypto funds that are being traded on Coinbase. And so we can see here, that's almost 80% of institutional funds for the volume on Coinbase. Now let's take a look at some more information here. If the institutions are accounting for 80% of the volume being traded on Coinbase, we can see here that in Q1, Bitcoin only accounted for 33% of that. And so that means that institutions are buying altcoins. They're also buying Ethereum. We can see that there's 13% of Ethereum here in Q1. And then we can also see that for altcoins in Q1, they accounted for 54%. And so that is massive news, right? I mean, we can see here, as I mentioned, 80% is institutions. And if 50% of the institutions is altcoins, that would be $125 billion of funds being purchased in altcoins by institutions. And so there's definitely institutional interest in altcoins as well. And so let's take a look at some other news here regarding altcoins. We have Franklin Templeton wanting to open a new crypto fund, investing in tokens beyond Bitcoin, Ethereum. And so they're starting to focus on different altcoins. And this is going to continue to happen. I think that altcoins have the best potential for returns moving forward. And one thing I do want to mention here is that Franklin Templeton has been involved with altcoins in the past. They have announced the Franklin On-Chain U.S. Government Money Fund with a value of $270 million of assets under management. Now, this was launched in April of 2023, and so they have been looking into altcoins for quite some time. We also know that BlackRock is interested in tokenization of assets. However, Franklin Templeton has been leading the way. And so once they get approval for the fund that they are looking to open, this could definitely drive a lot of attention to altcoins moving forward as well. So that's something else to keep in mind. Now, if we take a look at the overall market here, the last day it has been relatively red, right? The entire cryptocurrency market tends to follow Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin fell from $71,000 down to $69,000, which pulled the entire market down. And so we're not seeing a lot of red. However, if we look at this on a weekly time frame, we can see that Caspo was up 16%, BNB hit new all-time highs, up 15%, and so that went from about $200 up to about $700. That was a very good opportunity there. We have Injective starting to get more attention again, up 17%. I think Injective will be having its next leg up here shortly. And then we also have the meme coins in the mix as well, which always seem to have their cycles and get attention there as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at this on CoinMarketCap. We can see Bitcoin trading right around $69,400 still. It still is up 2.5% in the last 7 days. And then we can see here, as I mentioned, BNB up 15%. So that's a cryptocurrency that's been doing very well. We have Toncoin up 15% there roughly as well. And so we can see otherwise we have most of these cryptocurrencies that are down. Now Caspa had a very good move. I was talking about this on my Twitter. If you're interested in following me there, you can see that this is up 15%. We were talking about it when it was right around 9 cents. And so that was a very good play there for a crypto trade. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to make sure you get those updates on the information I am providing. Now, let me know underneath the video in the comment section whether you think that BlackRock is shorting Bitcoin to get that $17 billion in profit, or is Grayscale selling BlackRock Bitcoin really cheap and that's why they have a $10 billion loss, and then BlackRock is able to have a $17 billion profit? Or do you think that BlackRock has been stockpiling Bitcoin, that have been buying since it was around $15,000 all the way up to $25,000, and that have been hoarding that, and that is how they've been funding their BlackRock ETF? They've been selling out of that fund rather than buying it on the open market, which would increase the price substantially, right? We saw the price go from about $15,000 all the way up to $40,000 before the ETF was even approved. And so that could be these institutions planning ahead, right? Just like retail investors. Retail investors were buying Bitcoin in anticipation that the BlackRock ETF would be approved. And so BlackRock could do the same thing. They could be buying at $15,000, $20,000, and they could be stockpiling it, knowing that the price is going to go up, and then they could be selling it off, making a massive profit. And now that profit may be showing up here where they're up $17 billion. And so thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.